we use this phrase called leadership movement. What comes to your mind around, well, like, what is it, and what would lead us to believe that we think we need renewed leadership movements inside of our businesses? What thoughts on that?
I think when we think about movements throughout history, it's really opportunities to think about things broader than oneself and to think about ways to serve the greater good. And I think when we think about leadership movements, there's such an opportunity to have an impact on so many people's lives because so much time is taken in the workplace, and that's where people spend a lot of their waking hours, right? And
Mhm.
having really good leadership, just makes that all the more enjoyable and productive for people. So I think that's how I think about movements. And there's a lot going on in the workplace, from the past, today, and into the future. And we're seeing a lot of changes in the future of work. And so I think, I feel like now's the time for a leadership movement that takes those things into account and really has, transformational impact.
For me, when I think of a movement, it's everything, Charlie, what you said. But additionally, there are a couple of characteristics that are super important. I think one of those is where, when you think of a movement only happens when everybody involved takes it as a personal thing, right? It's they're vested in it, they're doing it, and they're motivated to do it without having to be pushed or rated or rewarded for doing it, right? It's important. There's a reason why you do it. So it becomes a deeper thing. So when you think about it, fascinating case study for me in that space would be Mothers Against Drunk Driving back in the 80s, right? It was something that was
Mhm. Yeah.
personal, and it wasn't just mothers of kids who were either involved or, who were affected because of drunk driving accidents. Everybody got involved, and guess what? The next thing you know, we have some pretty high consciousness on the topic. So think of that as an analogy for me when I think of movements. It's something that's personal and people are vested in it. And
Mhm.
then the second one is from an organizational construct standpoint. To me, a movement only becomes real if it is by design and not by chance, right? So the organizations or the institutions need to intend to do it, not that it's just happening by chance and then you pick the people who happen to be doing it well and then push them up the ladder. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like got to be something where an organization is investing in an ecosystem that by design not only just identifies leadership and gives them the development, but actually cultivates leadership and gives them the development. So to me,
Mhm.
that to me is when we would truly check the box. It's a big ask. Nobody said that this was easy. It's a big ask, but to
Mhm.
me, we don't call it a movement till in my mind, I think it does those. And then like Charlie said, over history, it's something that is for the greater good. It moves societies and communities and
Mhm.
practices forward, and
Mhm.
and you take that step forward, and you never kind of go back to what things were. So anyway, so that's my
Mhm.
sense when I hear movement or yeah.
Yeah. Growing up, my dad used to, I don't know that I always understood exactly what he was saying, but one of the things he used to say was, get involved in things that are bigger than you are, Reg.
Hmm.
And, that's kind of what you guys are talking about, how you think about a movement is really in line with what he was telling me. Get involved in things that are bigger than you. It just has these added elements, around it's personal, it's by design. And Charlie, I also hear you talking about there's action and progress that's associated with it. It's just
Hmm.
a discussion,
Hmm.
if it doesn't have
Hmm.
action and progress that's associated with it. These three things that are paramount in order for an organization to continually be in the know about what their leadership capacity actually is. And number one has to start with a modern model of leadership productivity, right? What's the modern model of leadership productivity, and how is that differentiated for different leaders across my business? Number two, you need real-time data to support it, right? And number three, you need content intelligence to connect people to the right resources to actually develop it and drive it over time.